Yeah, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate you with the upcoming release of the new album of Kissin Dynamite. We're all waiting for this for such a long time. And my first question is, what was the awesomest part about recording this album, and what was a bit of a challenge?
Oh, I have to think about that. I would say was the most comfortable album actually to record since I did it myself here in my studio in Reutlingen. And I produced the previous albums myself too, but I was living in an entire different place in Germany, and it was about 900 kilometers for the rest of my band to come to the studio.
Wow.
So this time the ways were very short, the distance was very short, and it was actually very easy to meet up and to work on even little things sometimes, because normally for bands it is the way that you book studio time, and you have to make sure you finish your record within a period of time. I don't know, a few weeks. In my case, that's not the point, because as I am the producer of the record, I can make sure we're all happy. That was actually no challenge at all, but the most comfortable working that I have experienced in my career. And I literally cannot think about a big challenge, because we were really, and we are a really structured band from beginning on. We don't mix writing or producing with times when we are on the road. That's two things for us. When we are on the road, we focus 100% to be on the road and to play our live shows. And once we come home and the tour is finished, then we 110% focus on a new record and awesome songs to create. So yeah, I'm sorry that I can't give you a big challenge here, but it was very structured this time.
Oh, that's great. And as far as I understood, I mean, I hope you understood you right. So maybe recording of the album is some sort of a resting from touring, because as far as I can tell, touring is challenge. That's for sure. Even if it's great, it's awesome, but it has certain challenges. And recording an album is like chilling from touring, yeah?
I wouldn't say chilling from touring, but it is something entirely different, of course. I mean, touring, I can describe it the best as touring is a one-shot thing. I mean, you go on stage and you sound different from the day before and the day after. And I mean, nobody's absolutely perfect, and we all do mistakes, or we're just human beings. Okay, so live shows are, of course, a matter of the way your mental capabilities and your physical capabilities are on the very day, and sometimes you can make 110%, sometimes it's maybe just 95, but what we always aim at is to give the best we can. But still, touring is a one-shot thing. There's no second chance. For the recording process and writing process, it's something entirely different. I mean, we write music. Some of the songs are written very fast. I want to say, for example, a song like Raise Your Glass was written in half a day. Not a Wise Man too. But there are also songs like that took me for weeks still in order to make it sound perfect and to have the perfect composition. And that's what I want to say real clear. I mean, if you compare live to studio work, it cannot be more different, because studio work is perfection. You aim for perfection, and you have multiple chances to make the best out of it. And this is always the game. But of course, you're right. It's somewhat refreshing to your mind if you come from the one thing and go to the other, because that's a general state of mind in my case, that I don't want to do the same thing like for years. I want to have the change between sitting in my studio, have complete freedom and complete silence at some point, at least mental silence, to create awesome stuff. But also I love the rumble and somehow the excitement of live shows and not knowing what it's going to be like. So I would miss one part if it wasn't there.
Yes, I forgot the word in English, but they are very good together. I mean, like yin and yang, recording in the studio and touring. Yes,
exactly. It's a great balance. Yes.
So, what are your favorite songs, the most special songs for you on the upcoming album?
This is always the question I cannot answer because, I know it sounds a little bit cheesy, but it is the way it is. As the songwriter of most of the songs, I feel like a father to my children who would say, "You are my favorite child," and all the others step aside. You're the one. I mean, nobody would do that. In this case, I can only say I'm very proud of all the 12 songs because I really think that they are very strong songs. To let some songs stand out, not because I like them more, just because I think they are somewhat special to our Kissin Dynamite universe, because we might not have done something like that before. Our songs like Not a Wise Man, the last one on the record, because it's an acoustic ballad. If we, as Kissin Dynamite, did a ballad in the past, it was sounding like huge, like with big drums and guitars and stuff. And this time I wanted to do something entirely different, like just an acoustic guitar, cajon, like a campfire. If you sit with friends around a campfire, a nice summer night, and you just play a song, I wanted to do something like that. Or My Monster is a very special tune for me because although it is a party song, when it comes to the music, the lyrics are quite deep because it deals with mental illness. And I'm sure that a lot of people suffer from that. And I compared it to a monster that lives deep inside us. And I do strongly believe that everybody of 8 billion people on this planet have a monster deep inside. For some, it might not be visible or obvious because it's deep down somewhere. And for other people who suffer, it's on the surface. And you really have to beat it every time. And so I was thinking about a race. Basically, it's not to kill the monster. It's like a race, winning against this monster. It's about running faster and not let the monster rule the game. And as long as this is true for yourself, you should be actually fine. So this is the deep topic for an actual party song. But again, I cannot say this song I like more than the others because I do like all of them.
Yes, well, I can say which song is my favorite. I listened to the album. I picked up The Best Is Yet to Come, just because,
nice.
Yes, just because for me, the message was pretty uplifting, and also it, because of because story-wise, it really gave some living on a prayer vibes, like there is a story about a boy and the girl, yes, and everything is going to be fine. So I'm curious, so what was the inspiration for this particular song?
You know who the boy was? Me. So it's a very personal story. It's the story of me and my girlfriend, basically.
Oh, wow. That's why it's so sincere.
Yes, it's not like a rip-off living on a prayer or something, although I like that song very, very much. It is a true story because we were living in the very north of Germany for a couple of years, trying to make a living and trying to, by music, and trying to establish a future for us. At some point, coming from the very south, basically, where we were born and raised, at some point we felt that this is not going to be how we want it to be. To work your ass off just to pay the rent and not getting one foot after the other was one thing that really was frustrating. But the other thing was to leave all your friends behind, to leave your family behind, who were 900 kilometers away from where you live now. So that was something that made us very frustrated at some point, and we really said, okay, something has to change, because this cannot be the end. This is not the end. And the best should actually lie ahead. This is how the title was born. The best is yet to come. And I strongly believe that a lot of people can identify with our very personal story, because in the end it's about hope. In the end it's about, you don't have to accept in whatever state of life you are right now. You can always make a change, and you can always find a way to improve your situation. And this is basically the story about The Best Is Yet to Come.
Wow. I mean, thanks, really, thank you for sharing this one. It's, I mean, for me personally, now this song will be even more inspiring, because, I mean, I said that it had some Living on a Prayer vibe, not because the story was kind of similar. It was just this story that whatever circumstances you are in, so there is always something to dream about, and yes, go and chase your goal. That's why these songs are like on the same level for me. And by the way, I heard somewhere Living on a Prayer, I heard that it's somewhere in the top of most inspiring songs, most uplifting rock songs. And what would be your personal like top of the most uplifting songs? Because music is very inspiring.
I do think that Living on a Prayer is probably on my top 3 of the best rock songs ever written.
Oh, even like this. Okay.
I love it so much, and I ever since I loved it. And this is one of the songs that doesn't get bad. You know, you listen to this song on a party or in a big football stadium, and all of a sudden the chorus jumps in. Everybody's going, this is so uplifting. You know, you cannot resist but singing along. And this is some magic that I can't describe, but that touches me deeply. And so props John Bon, and props to Richie Sambora. And I guess it's also a co-writer. Well done. Very well done.
Yes, amazing. And the question was, do you know any other similar songs with the same vibe, actually, besides yours? The Best Is Yet to Come now.
For example, A Total Different World, but You're the Voice. And I like the version of John Farnham even more than Christopher Thompson, I guess. Is it Christopher Cross or Thompson? Don't know. But the version of John Farnham, You're the Voice, you know the song?
I'm trying to recall. I'm having a huge musical library in my head, and so maybe if you sing.
Okay, I start and you continue. You're the voice, try and understand it, make a noise and make it clear. And now your turn.
What a shame! What a shame! But your part was amazing. It wasn't about me in the end here.
So this is you know, you get an idea of what songs I like. I like those songs that are super sing along, catchy tunes. You know, which you can't resist to sing along. And this is definitely the same kind of hymn. Yeah, this is of course a different genre, maybe a different vibe, but still the same magic to it.
Yes, and thanks for a recommendation. I will surely go and check it out right after
You will.
the interview. Another question I wanted to ask is that Kissin Dynamite claim themselves to be a stadium rock band, and I'm extremely curious, how do you explain this? What's behind being stadium rock band for you?
Okay, a lot of people ask me this question. Some people get a wrong idea of what we mean. Some people think it's about Kissin Dynamite playing in a proper stadium, but that's not the case. It's not a location for us. For us, it's a lifestyle, a feeling. I mean, to give you an example, as a kid or a teenager, I have experienced my first rock concerts as a fan. For example, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Kiss, you name it. Such bands in a stadium. They were not playing in a club. They were not playing in a hall. They were playing in stadiums. That was the only way to go see them live. So I was there as a teenager. It is summer. It's a light freedom vibe. You're surrounded by 50,000 friends, basically. It's just, a good vibe. And then also the music that you like the most. Now you can imagine that as a teenager, you put all these impressions, a strong emotion in the end, together. And for us, stadium rock means exactly that. It is a mixture of emotions that I just described, and not just about being able to play in a stadium. It's about all these strong emotions that come together for such a happening. And so this is more, to us, it almost feels like a genre if we talk about stadium rock.
Yes, so of course I knew that it wasn't about the amount of people that are coming to see your shows, but yeah, thanks for clarifying. And speaking about the quantity of people that come to see the shows, for me, stadium rock associates with 80s the most. Mostly because, especially all the bands that you mentioned, they were huge in the 80s. And on the other side, I feel that in the 80s, rock and even heavy metal music was mainstream, sort of. And this is a three-dimensional question for you here. So what is lacking in modern music nowadays that prevents it from becoming mainstream? Actually, should it become mainstream? And basically, what's your attitude to this tainted word at some point, mainstream?
That's a tough question. I think, rock music is at first a music that is, at least in my opinion, full of ideas and full of musical diversity. I mean, we as a band, as Kissin Dynamite, we never do the same song again. If you only listen to our current album, you cannot compare one song to the other. And if you compare what is mainstream, like pop music that is played on the big radio stations, I don't want to say that it's bad, but if you listen 1 hour to a radio station, you at least get the impression that everything sounds the same. Like the 3 to 4 same chords, almost 3 minutes, no intro, no outro, no interlude, no nothing, getting straight to the chorus. The chorus sounds similar to the song you heard before and the song you hear after. So to make things short, I don't want to generalize here. Of course, there are pop songs that go in a different direction and not everything is the same, but rock music is more diverse than pop music. And I guess a lot of people are just not, they seem to be afraid of more, artsy ideas. And I'm not talking about us to be the most artsy band. There are even more artsier bands out there and that really do complex stuff. we're none of these, but still, at some point you get the impression that especially some mainstream radio station are anxious if they would go for an experiment, you know. They rather take stuff that is known to their ears, known to their conscious or subconscious experience, and they'll take that. So that's easier. I'm talking about easier in the end. It's not about that rock music would actually have no chance to go mainstream. It's just about some deciders in positions which we cannot reach, so to speak, that decide for the easiest way, because it's mostly the way that has no difficulties, no failures and stuff. And I mean, they are sitting all on some sort of I missed the English word, but yeah, some sort of. I mean, if they do one mistake, they might be forgiven. If they do two mistakes, their job is fired, you know? So basically, I can understand to take the easy way as a radio promoter, as a TV promoter, as a decider for the official football hymn. They would always go for the secure decision. So, and I guess this is somewhat the reason why, why being as a rock artist, being not mainstream is explainable, at least.
Yes, but in the meantime, again, if we come back to the 80s, so it seems that the radio guys were kind of braver, and people were ready to accept something more artsy, as you said. They were willing to do it much more than people are willing to do it now. Yes,
I would say so, but you have to still give a spotlight to some very cool radio stations that we have here in Germany. For example, it's Rock Antenne, Radio Bob, and a lot of more that really dedicate themselves to rock music and don't give a shit about the mainstream world, and they're still big rock stations. So I have to give my props to such brave people and such brave radio stations who really showcase that rock music can actually touch like a big crowd and a big audience, and has the ability to actually be mainstream. But yeah, I could summarize it as exactly the way you did. It's about being brave in the end.
So yes, rock music is bravery. That's the slogan of today's interview. Okay.
It has always been back in the 80s and even earlier too. Rock music was rebellion. I mean, rebellion must be a brave emotion. If you're not brave, you cannot rebel, can you?
Yeah, indeed. Exactly. So a couple more questions, and I'm curious. So what is your dream band to collaborate with?
That's a really tough question. At first, bands like Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith come to my mind because they've been all favorite heroes of mine.
Yeah, why not? Actually, that would be cool.
Yes. Yeah, I have to stick to that because it would just be a dream come true to sing with Steven Tyler. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What could beat that?
Actually, speaking about singing with Steven Tyler, I saw one video on the internet that he was strolling somewhere. I mean, he was on tour and he was walking in the street, and there was some guy busking, and he was singing, I don't want to miss a thing. And then
I've seen that too. I've seen that too. Yeah, just him in the street. Yeah. So nice.
Tyler just came. So some guy really had your dream come true, but I believe that it will happen to you as well. Seriously, fingers crossed.
Thank you. I hope so.
Okay, so the very last question: what would be your message for the fans that would surely enjoy this interview when it's released?
I want to thank all the fans at first for watching this interview, for being interested in it. I want to definitely say check out our brand new record, Back with a Bang, because it is worth a listen. And I'm sure you won't regret it. Yeah, maybe we will see each other live at some show on our European tour. Who knows? We will be constantly adding more countries as good as we can. I mean, it's not that easy, but yeah, I want to see you all out there, and let's have a good time together. This is the most important thing for us as Kissin Dynamite.
Yes.